Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait.
That's not according to me.
Prime for what?
It depends. I mean, it's just like prime. If you look it up, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s.
So let's have a little chatty chat about this, shall we? Because this is, if you want more feminism, this is how you get more feminism. Feminism was created by progressive betas like this, who talk out of their A-double snakes like Don Lemon just did. That is why women began doing some of the stuff they were doing, because of progressive dudes like this. Just that they created it. That's where it came from. First off, did they ever say this about Kamala Harris? How old is Kamala Harris? She's like 56 something years old, right? Kamala Harris she's in her 50s. Vice President of the United States. Do you think that Don Lemon, she's 58 years old. Do you think Don Lemon thinks that she's out of her prime? Out of curiosity? Hillary Clinton's in her later 70s. Is she out of her prime? Margaret Thatcher, when she became prime minister, she was 53 years old, 2 years older than Nikki Haley at 51. Was Margaret Thatcher, who was one of the most successful leaders. I'm not even going to add the caveat of female leader. I'm not going to add an asterisk and act like it's JV. She was one of the most successful leaders. 53 years old, 2 years older than Nikki Haley. Was she out of her prime? Can I be very frank with you? I don't trust a gay man to sit here and make a determination as to whether or not a female is in her prime. Are you a biologist, Don? I don't know. I mean, we can't even determine what a woman is anymore, but we can go ahead and sit here on CNN and make proclamations about when women are in their prime. Don Lemon is 56 years old, and apparently he didn't rate well enough with test audiences to host a show all by himself, so they had to pair him with a younger female. So I think 56-year-old Don Lemon ought to be a hell of a lot more careful about judging whether or not women younger than him are in their prime or not. Because I would not say the same of his career. So he just basically gave Nikki Haley a huge campaign donation. That's what that was. And I hate that. I hate having to even talk about this. This is what makes me, I think, the angriest. Because I believe that progressive men are sexist. In fact, the entirety of my experience with sexism has been from progressive men. And they're enablers, the progressive women, who secretly really do like the dichotomy that has long existed. They suck up, and that's just kind of how it is. They make the sexist men happy by enabling the sexist men because they don't condemn it. And that's how, and then third wave happened. But I expect progressive men to be sexist. What I get angry about is the fact that can I be very honest with you? This is a politician I'm not a major fan of. I've met her. She's very nice as a person. I'm not crazy about her policies. She on foreign policy, and she's been on the program, and I've talked to her about this before. I'm not a major fan of her policies. And so I don't know how strong her spine is. I don't, I have some questions, and she's just not someone that I'm super excited about running for the presidency. That said, what makes me angriest is that we're now continuing to talk about her campaign because Don Lemon kicked open a giant hole in the conversation. And now it's news, and it's news because he's a sexist pig. And everybody's talking about it because he's a sexist. You know, and he doesn't get a pass because he's a gay dude. He doesn't get a pass because he's a black gay man on CNN. He's judging other women based on stereotypes that have no bearing in actual science. I don't even know what he thinks he's talking about. Oh, past her prime. He doesn't even want to qualify it. But the whole reason that we're still talking about Nikki Haley's campaign is because Don Lemon now made that possible. He has given her such a boost in her campaign. I mean, I've seen people joking as to whether or not it could be considered. I wonder if it actually exceeds the allowable legal threshold for in-kind campaign contributions or campaign contributions of any kind. I mean, that's telling you what. I I just kind of wonder. I got some questions. But I'm mad because now we got to talk. We're talking about it because of what he said. And it's news. Damn you for making us do that. Man, we did not want to talk about this campaign. It is early. We're going into spring. We're going into spring of a non-election year. We still got Christmas before it really kicks into gear. And here you're doing this. Golly. It's almost like, is he a plant for her? I don't even know. Is he a plant for her? You just gave her $1 million video. She's going to fundraise off this forever. And you made it happen, Don Lemon. Damn you. It's always the old progressive dudes on cable news running down younger women who could literally beat their ass. It's always those guys, like Don Lemon. You know, like him doing it. I don't want him fired, though. I don't want him fired. And I don't really think, I think that the whole Me Too movement was killed by the transgender movement. Me Too has been killed by transgenderism because now we can't even define what a woman is. So can you really say a woman's been victimized if we don't even know what a woman is? Can you? I mean, think about it like this. If you're a guy in a gym and you ogle a woman and you try to hit on her or something, then you're the creep and she's the victim. But if you decide that you want to identify as a woman and follow her in the locker room and then pull your pants down and show her your schlong, then she's the bigot and you're the victim. Isn't that wild where society has placed us? That's where we are. So I don't think he'll be fired. And I think it's stupid if he's fired. But I do think that if he's, any kind of a man at all, he would apologize and then move on. The look on Poppy Harlow's face, I think Poppy Harlow and I are about the same age. And she's sitting there thinking, she did not know how to respond to this at all whatsoever. But I definitely would have said, well, is that why they put you with a younger female co-host? Because you're out of your prime, Don? 56-year-old male can't host a show by himself because it doesn't rate well. Tears.